Go ahead.
is for the panel is that, you know, it's interesting now when you see video of some of the events on C-SPAN of the presidential early events, you're seeing a lot of people in the front rows and stuff with their cameras on their cell phone cameras taking video of the events. And, you know, in essence now in politics, there's a camera on you all the time in the audience, right? Essentially, because many cell phones now have video capacity on them. How is this going to affect the whole web video revolution? How, for those of us in the business who are protecting politicians, does it mean that every moment now in every public event or even every private event where people could be recording something surreptitiously, is there no such thing as an off-the-record moment now in politics? And what does this mean, you know, for what we do every day?
Senator Obama, I was actually going to bring the clip in at the DNC, in his speech to the DNC's winter meeting, started off by saying, you know, with all the cameras and so forth these days, running for president feels like a mix of American Idol and Survivor. No, I think you absolutely, if I were running for office, I would assume a camera is on me at all times, with the possible exception of sort of like when you walk into, what is it, the president walks into the safe room or where you have the white noise, that there would be certain security areas. But absolutely, you have to, I mean, Will, haven't you been using your...
Taping it, right.
Yeah, he's been taping us with his phone right there, and frankly, they're great hidden cameras you can get for $600, so absolutely, you've got to... Survivor is definitely right.
Other thoughts on that? Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say that, you know, I think when more of this comes out, people are not going to be so surprised. You know, Edward's combing his hair. I mean, big deal. There's always embarrassing pictures you can find of yourselves, and I think for each of these candidates, it's a rite of passage that they go through, and people won't make as big a deal out of them. But you know, there's also the positive side of them. You know, a lot of politicians are very, you know, controlled and careful. Maybe somebody might capture a really nice moment, and you get to see them, you know, in a new light. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
I think we recently had our first kind of official item of that happen, where a woman came in and videotaped Representative Obi, and that made the YouTube circle, and that was kind of the first time there was a confrontation within, and a lot of the anti-war protesters are using it extremely effectively, and I'd say they're some of the more interesting uses. Code Pink is recording things, so I think we'll see how Congress responds, or how individual politicians.
I mean, you have the ability to broadcast it now yourself, so it's out there. I mean, you have to expect it to be seen by everyone.
I do think, if I could just make a comment, and Simon, as usual, puts his finger on kind of one of the kind of evolving, unclear spaces that we've got to get worked out. I mean, we are in a period of a really evolving, not just technologies, but norms and practices and standards and all kinds of things that are going through. And I think there's going to be a point, as Phil said, I think there's something about the seeing candidates as more human, and understanding that, you know what, if you make a mistake, you come right back and say, you know, that was dumb, sorry, you know, I'll do something different. And I think there's a tolerance out there too. That's, you know, if the old standard was you're so highly scripted that if you screw up, well, then you should be held to it. You know, in this new standard where it's so loose, and you know, everyone has private moments and unguarded moments, and you're angry or whatever, you're tired and you say something stupid. I think people get that, and so I do think there's going to be a new tolerance evolving towards those kind of slips.